These are the video notes for section 9.3, solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. We have 3 steps. The first step is to make sure it is in standard form. Then substitute values into the formula, which is here. And then the last step is to simplify. So let's take a look at our first example. We have the equation already set up in standard form. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the values that we need. The number that's in front of the x squared, which in this case is 1, will be a. Then the number that is in front of the variable x will be b, so that's -7. And the last number will be c. So now we have these 3 variables, a, b, and c, and we can plug them into the formula that has also those variables, a, b, and c. So I have x is equal to the opposite of b, negative b here, so that would turn this +7, plus or minus the square root of b squared, -7 squared, minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. Now we're going to simplify what's inside the radical, and we're going to do that off to the side. So -7 squared is 49 minus 4 times 1 times 12. 4 times 1 times 12 is 48. And 49 minus 48 is 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. So in my work here, I'll have x is equal to 7 plus or minus 1 over 2. Now I'm going to simplify this. Recall that this represents 7 plus 1 over 2, and also 7 minus 1 over 2. So I'm going to simplify this, 8 over 2, 6 over 2, and I get my 2 answers, 4 and 3. In our next example, we had to set it up in standard form, so I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. So I get x squared minus 4x minus 6 equals 0. I'm going to pull out my values. A is 1, b is -4, c is -6. Now I'm going to substitute into the formula. X is equal to the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I'm going to do my radical work off to the side so it doesn't get too messy. So -4 squared is 16. -4 times 1 times -6 is +24. So we end up with the square root of 40. We can simplify square root of 40 into 4 and 10. So we end up with 2 root 10. So x is equal to 4 plus or minus 2 root 10 over 2. Since 2 can go into both parts of the numerator, we can simplify this. X is equal to 2 goes into 4 2 times, plus or minus. 2 goes into 2 once. So my final answer is 2 plus or minus root 10. In our next example, we're going to put it in standard form. So I'm going to subtract 5x on both sides. To get 0 is equal to 3x squared minus 9x. If you notice in this example, we have no c value. So when we pull out that value, we're going to say that c is equal to 0. A is equal to 3, and b is equal to -9. Plugging into the quadratic formula, x is equal to the opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared, minus 4ac, over 2a. So off to the side, I'm going to find out what the radical is equal to. -9 squared is 81. -4 times 3 times 0 is 0. So this is square root of 81, which is 9. Now I'm going to substitute that in. 9 plus or minus 9 over 6. I'm going to simplify this. Recall that this is 9 plus 9 over 6, or 9 minus 9 over 6. This is 18 over 6, 0 over 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 0 divided by 6 is 0. So x is equal to 3 and 0. In our final example, we're going to subtract 36 on both sides. So we get 2z squared minus 36 is equal to 0. Our a value is 2. Our b value is 0. If you recall, the b value is the number in front of the variable x. Since we have no variable z here, we say that b is equal to 0, and c is equal to negative 36. Now we can substitute it into the quadratic formula. The opposite of b, negative 0, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So to simplify the radical, we have 0 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 36. So this is 0 squared is 0. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times negative 36. 36 times 8. So I have 0 plus 288. So this is the square root of 288. You can break this up into 144 and 2. So this is 12 root 2. So x is equal to, the negative 0 does not mean anything, so we can just go right ahead and write plus or minus 12 root 2 over 4. 4 can go into 12, so my final answer is plus or minus 3 root 2.